This was posted February 1st, 2021. They went hard after AOC. What we're going to go over is one exact segment of this. I just watched it. I just noticed that it couldn't have been more obvious. Fiorella was reading off of a script.
OMG, are you okay? Since when did this happen?
I was almost murdered, but I pushed the CARES Act, which literally had so much money over there for our military industrial complex and the militarism and imperialism that we're pushing on everybody. Now we're sanctioning, we're droning, we're going to continue to up that tenfold, but we never talk about these things. This is what I get so angry about, the American exceptionalism of, oh my God, this was an insurrection. You guys wouldn't know an insurrection if it hit you, because this is what we actually overthrow and coup and bomb everybody all over the world, and literally our imperialism is beyond racist. But then you have these woke fake leftists who say, oh my God, I can't believe I had to vote for Joe Biden because I wanted to mitigate damage, or oh, I had to do this because I care about people of color. You don't understand what it's like to live in a country in the global south that suffers from U.S. imperialism, that the populations fight amongst each other, and these countries can't get their shit together because the boot of the American the American just foreign policy. The war machine is always there trying to put in whoever they want, and if they don't, they screw that country. That country is forced to, like Venezuela, to enact a more anti-American policy because we try to get in there, and then they still are able to provide to their people far better conditions during a pandemic than we are to our people. Like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. My idea here is we already went through the part in which Fiorella was obviously reading off of a script to a point in which there is no debating it. It's factual. You heard how she tried to sound natural, yet she was glued to the script. And now let's take a look at the aftermath in which she points to the monitor as if it's not the script, as if they're looking at some web page.
Fee, you put this in the folder, I'm assuming, right? This is a great video right here. Listen to this real quick.
Yeah, so let's just listen to it. Basically, Shama is a city councilwoman in Seattle. They're trying to get rid of her. I'm going to look more into that. We'll see if we can get her on. But they're basically trying to get rid of her. She's really effective. She is not a Democrat.
Yeah.
She
understands on taking on power.
Yeah, of socialist alternatives.
Socialist alternatives are right?
Yeah.
The party's leadership.
Her acting was off. It was way off. I'll finish up this mailed-in video by putting forward the idea that Rokfin is a scam. They don't get that many subscribers. There are apparently a lot of channels, including wrestling channels. All the money from subscribers goes into the pot. The people who are subscribed to get more of the money, apparently. These military shills are paid off of taxpayer money. They're being paid. They were hired to read scripts. They're trying to chart where people go to websites, what they're looking at, what they believe in. So if someone's watching a lot of Convo Couch, the military's thinking you might be an extremist. You might be a potential terrorist. All one has to do is be honest and sincere and look at those channels, and it's the truth. Now, these people are falling apart. I got into their heads. I let them know we can see they are drug addicts. Now they know that we know they read off the scripts. They're going to try to look at the monitor more in front of them. When they're looking down to the side, it is so obvious. When they're looking straight forward, it is not as obvious. Although, it can be, if you know what you're looking for. These people fake being censored. They probably got demonetized on purpose. They did that, I think, on purpose to usher in this Rokfin scam. They don't need to make money. They don't need to build their subscriber bases. They're looking for targets. They're not looking for average people like ourselves. They ask for tips. They ask for this. They say this or that because they don't want people to realize they are paid by the U.S. military to read scripts and to stage fake protests no one attends but themselves. So this should be enough for today's video. For this video, I don't know if I'll do videos every day. I should get a microphone and see what that does. I was listening to myself singing the Elvis Presley American Trilogy. Is that what it's called? The Dixieland. I nailed it. I might have sounded pretty bad on other music I tried, but I nailed that Elvis impersonation. So that pretty much proves I can sing in tune, and especially if it's in my pitch range. I have Asperger's. Aspies are most prone to have the perfect pitch. That's where I'm coming from. And that's why I sang quite a bit, to see if it's true that I have perfect pitch. One plan I have is perhaps to make free music lessons. But for today, for this video right here, I just wanted to show further evidence that they obviously are reading off of scripts. I have freaked them out, all of them. I went after all of them. And that's why I was targeted by John Brisson. That's why the Cookville people came after me. That's why, what's-her-face, Janet Beck came after me. Trying to sink their meat hooks into me, or whatever they're... I picked up that phrase. I forget where I picked up that phrase recently. Meat hooks. Who? I don't know. It was sort of sexist, but after my horse face analysis the other day, I'm not one to throw the glass. Throw a rock out of a glass home. So yeah. They were trained. Their shows are corporate. They're always nodding. Everything about it is fake. I unraveled it. It's called an implicate order. That's what David Bohm called reality. He said there's an implicate order. He sort of made it seem that we're similar to holograms. Our consciousness is a hologram, which is sort of true if you look around your own room. I see what I have in mind, and it does seem that everything has a dimension to it that can't be explained, a depth to it. Then you ask, where does something start? Where does it end? The bobblehead, quite a bit down the road there. It's moving, despite there not being much reason for it to move, but perhaps it's moving because my knee is pressed up to the desk it's on, but it's far away. I did another observation experiment with fluids in a water bottle, called fluids because I mixed in the non-caloric flavoring. Everything is rigged and there's no way to unrig it. That's the conclusion. We've been given warnings about this our whole lives. There are books on it, the Orwell books. I am 100% positive those people are cointelpro and that I sought proof, I found proof. Please spread the word wherever you can. They should not be reading off of scripts. It's widespread though. It's everywhere. You'll see that it's everywhere. That's what's so frustrating about it. That's why they don't care if you expose 1 or 2 or even 10 of them. They can find 10 new people to latch on to Jimmy Dore or the next Jimmy Dore. They don't need us. They don't want us. They don't want anyone outside of the echo chamber. So where does someone go if there's no community that's believable? Where is someone like myself supposed to go? Where can any of us go? We can't. So we're left with our consciousness, our awareness versus internet addiction. Perhaps the first step will be to forget about the paid fakes. Let them be. Let them have it. Let them decay in real time. Of course, we're all decaying in real time. I refer to that as the absurdity of consciousness. One is alive. One is left to their own devices. One is a brain, one is a body. One is both brain and body. One is vocal cords. See, there we go again. Where does something start and where does it end? So my toe isn't part of this, even though my brain can wiggle the toe. The absurdity of consciousness is you figure out that you're alive, that you're breathing, that it's beyond time, it's beyond whatever conditioning we were put through. A very similar conditioning amongst us all, if one thinks about it. Even when it appears we're different, completely different, it's not as vast a difference as we are led to think, to assume. Today I'm doing laundry, that feels productive. Making these videos is turning into a hassle. I'm not getting the page numbers that I'm expecting. I was getting good page numbers, then it seemed to crumble a little bit or stagnate. So I don't know what's up with my channel. Maybe I just have to do this for myself, do it as a hobby, let the chips fall where they may. I do like that I just proved that Fiorella, the Turkish actress, was obviously reading off of a script. And I like that little extra bit added on where she's pointing at the screen and trying to make it seem that wasn't scripted. Franco didn't just show up a couple months previously. Those are military shills. They're drug addicts. They're reading off of scripts. We have no clue who they are because there's no such thing as anonymous. Maybe there is an anonymous, but there's nowhere for anonymous to go to. Just the way the internet is controlled by the militaries. One fights back because they feel there is a constitution which permits freedom of speech. Allegedly protects that.